good if you can have two, forms of information. Like I think newspapers are good, and also blogs are good because you want someone's opinion. Sometimes, you want something that's just not, reported information. So I think as long as you're going to have a balance of the both, you're not going to just get rid of one, and just have blogs left, or just have something like that left. So yeah, hopefully people still keep reading the newspaper and still want both things around. So.
Oh, I think the Fourth Estate is with us permanently, and I think there is a certain fraction of our population that are not willing to read the rantings of some blogger and accept that as adequate coverage. You're going to have a certain segment of our population that wants seriously edited, well-verified, thoughtful stuff on politics, government, economics, that you simply can't get from somebody blathering at the blog. What form that takes, I don't know, but there's a market for that.
We all get to participate. That's the whole idea of the participatory web. As far as the industries themselves, they're going to save a lot of money not printing on paper, but they're going to have to learn how to engage individuals in a participation way instead of feeding them information. So the way we interact with them is more important than how we react to them.
Reading news on the computer opens up the world in a positive way of being able to look at, you read something on a piece of news and you can go to external news. So like a lot of times you're going to have to read something in a traditional sense, in a traditional newspaper. You're going to read something. This is pre-internet times. You're going to read something, and if you don't have the context of it and you don't own the Encyclopedia Britannica, you're at a loss there. You might not have the full context of what you're reading. The new way is that when you hyperlink things, if someone you can actually give more precise, better opinions or better news, because if someone understands the context of what you're saying,
right,
they don't have to click on any of the hyperlinks. If they don't understand, they can click on the hyperlinks to learn more about what you're talking about.
But as far as like media outlets, like the New York Times should not have an internet section, because then no one's going to buy the New York Times, because you can log on to the New York Times website for free and get the same information. So like if newspapers are going to do it, then they should stop doing stuff on the internet if they want to sell newspapers.
I think we need to tell stories in a different way. Newspapers tend to be kind of tradition-bound and institutional, and we tend to tell the story from the government meeting rather than, how this affects people living their lives. And the more we can do that, the better off we will be.
I'll tell you another thing. These publishers who demand 15% operating margins or 20% operating margins, that's unreasonable. And the longer they keep those margin requirements up there, the sooner newspapers will die. Companies like Gannett and their shareholders have to be satisfied with a 10 or 12% operating profit margin, and that's perfectly all right. These huge supermarket chains, their operating margins are in the single digits. They do 5%, 6% in a good year. So this stuff like, well, if we can't make 20% a year, we're a dead industry, that is just stupidity and greed talking. And that's what you get when, a bunch of shareholders who care about your profits every 90 days end up running your company.